going to give you a quick rundown on how to change the oil in a 2017 Toyota Tundra. So first thing you're going to want to do is anytime that you get under a vehicle, you're going to want to make sure that e-brake's on, which I already did. I got a lot of it prepped so I could kind of make this quick. So you want to put the e-brake on underneath. Let me see if I can get this switched around here. Underneath there's a skid plate here. You got to take that off. There's 5 bolts. You're going to be using a ratchet. This is a 12 millimeter ratchet right here that you're going to want to use. And once you get underneath here, bear with me. So the skid plate covers everything here. This is where your oil filter is going to be in the truck here underneath. Got a 9 millimeter here. That's what's going to go in there. That's what's actually going to release everything. So before we do all that, let's go back up here. And if you can see, here's your oil cap. You're going to take that off. Here's your dipstick. You're going to pull that out. You're going to take those off so you get a better airflow on everything so that the oil drains quicker. Most of the time I run my truck for a couple minutes, warm up the oil so you can really loosen up that viscosity in the oil so it flows better. So I'm going to get started real quick on getting this oil cap off so I can start draining the oil. So let's see if I can. I usually wear gloves too because otherwise your hands get all nasty. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Sorry. So you can see the oil starting to drain out here. Always make sure you got an oil pan so it catches everything, and always try to put down a something to catch the oil so that it doesn't actually get all over your driveway or wherever you're deciding to do your oil here. Let me show you what I got going on here. This is going to be your oil filter here. You're just going to take this off. You can throw that in your little oil filter, oil pan there. Until everything's done draining. Mind you, everything's draining right now, so. When you get your oil filter, everyone's different. Every vehicle's going to take a different type of oil filter here. Just take your oil filter, take off the old, let's see if I can't get this off here. It's your O-ring, it's a seal. Take that off, put the new one on here. You're going to take your actual filter, put it on there. Gives you a second one, but that's going to go on when we put it back in. So that's just going to sit there for now until all the oil drains. It's still draining down there. I still got everything open here. So now it's just a waiting game until all that's ready. If you want, you can start checking your air filters and different fluid levels and stuff like that, but that'll be at a later date. I can break all that down later. So I'm going to pause for now until the oil's all drained, and then I'll come back and we'll pick it back up. It's done dripping there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the oil filter on and put the oil in. We'll get her started up, and that's that. When you're putting a new oil filter on, I always take a little bit of the new oil, rub some on my finger, and get everything that's sealing up here lubricated with some new oil so you get a nice tight seal. All right, let me move this so I don't put my head in it. Also, when you get done with your used oil, you can't just throw it away. So if you Google some places,
There's a couple different places that will actually take your used oil and dispose of it for free. So I use AutoZone when I get done with everything, and that's actually where I get all my parts from. So you're gonna crank her back on. Mind you, I'm using a 1/4-inch ratchet. Once you get it tight, give it a little extra. Not too much though, but just a little, and then you're good. So down here is all taken care of. Now, we're gonna move back up top. My truck takes about 7 quarts. So I'm gonna keep the dipstick out because when I'm pouring all the oil here, it still allows an open airway for some air to go in when I'm pouring it into the actual engine. Now we just sit here and we fill her up and top her off. So once you get done putting all your oil in, give it just a couple seconds because everything's kind of getting situated down there. So your dipstick's not actually going to register properly until all your oil reaches the bottom of the engine there. So give it just a second. Put my oil cap back on. And mind you, every different vehicle takes a different type of oil. So my truck takes 0W20. There are numerous different types of oil, so make sure if you're going to be doing it yourself that you do some research on your vehicle and check out what type of oil that you need and what type of oil filter that you need. Just to show everyone your dipsticks right here, this is what's going to actually read your oil levels. Still registering high. Can't really see it right now, but kind of comes all the way up. So for those that don't know how to read an oil dipstick, here's your 2 points here. This is low, this is high. You want it to be about right in here. And then as you can see, all the oil is new. There's no brown tint, no grit to it. The viscosity is good and all that. The viscosity is your lubrication levels on how smoothly it flows and everything like that, and the cleanliness of your oil. And check the oil. You always want to clear your dipstick off so you get a clear read. And just like that, you can see that the oil's good. So now that the oil's done, what I'm going to do into the vehicle and reset my tripometer and my oil stuff. So as of right now, if you start my truck, you're gonna see that it says maintenance required. There you go. So it's required. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it to accessory mode, which is 2 clicks. So I'm gonna push in my tripometer here. And I'm gonna turn it back on to accessory mode. And let go. And now it's reset.